Now we move to another phase. We start to wake up and we practice yoga. And that's where we are now. We're ready to practice yoga. And Shaivism describes how this yoga is practiced from many different ways. There are many aspects of it, but always it's to find out who we really are. Always it's to get in touch with our true nature. Always it's to move towards oneness. Always it's to move towards peace. Always it's to move towards love. Always it's to move towards the core of who we are, and not to accept the illusion. The illusion is very powerful, which says you're not worthy. You're not worthy. You don't measure up. You're not good enough. This illusion is so powerfully imprinted. It takes a lot to overcome and fight that illusion. Not only does the outer world tell us that, more importantly, our inner world tells us that. It's not so much that people are always running up to us saying, you're worthless. Occasionally that happens, but more often than not, who's the one that tells you you're worthless in your universe? It's not the other people, it's you. It's always coming up inside yourself. And so it's very hard to overcome this imprinting. And so we have to do a little work to overcome that. And that work is called spiritual practice. Magna svachitena pravishet. The yogi should plunge his mind into the self. There, that's a statement for the rest of your life. You're a yogi, right? If you're in this room, you're a yogi. You know that? I'm not saying you should admit it to your family, but you are. A yogi who is one who pays attention to the inner self and who wants to grow spiritually. Do you want to grow spiritually? Do you want to know the self more profoundly? And you're a yogi. The yogi should plunge his mind into the self. I love the open-endedness of it. There are deeper and deeper vibrations and layers in our being when we look in. There's superficial ones, and which is on the level of mind and personality, and then deeper rhythms. Madhya vikasat chidananda labha. This is again from Pratyabhijna. By the unfoldment of the center, there's acquisition of the bliss of chid, bliss of consciousness. That when we unfold the center, of course the center is undefined, isn't it? When we unfold the center, we attain bliss. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So what is the center? This is the awakening of Kundalini. When consciousness unfolds, the center, the very center of our being, when we live from the depths, from our real essence rather than from the superficial layers, we unfold that center. That center is consciousness. Then we experience the bliss of awareness. These sutras they're universal. They speak. If you don't freak out when you hear a sutra, this sutra terror. You hear a sutra and you get immediately freaked out. But you let it speak to you. It will speak in its own unique way, It won't hurt you. It'll speak to you. This is how the story ends. Shiva tulyo jayate. The realized yogi becomes like Shiva, the Shiva Sutras say. So when we discover who we are, we discover not just like Shiva, we discover that I am Shiva. What's the proof that you are Shiva? The proof is that there's one subject in your universe. In the whole universe of universal consciousness, there's only one subject. You get what I'm saying? In Shiva's universe, there's only one subject. That subject is Shiva. Now in your universe, there's only one subject also. Who must that subject be? Unless in this world there's two people, you and Shiva. So the radical understanding of Shaivism is that you are Shiva. Shivoham, I am Shiva. It means it literally and directly. So when you meditate on your own awareness, you're actually meditating on God or the self. And if you want to understand it, it's all there within you. There's nothing that has to be acquired from outside. There's nothing that someone else has to give you. There's no knowledge that someone has to give you. There's no anything. It's all there within you. If you want to unfold it, if you want to unfold, let that speak to you. But you have to go to deeper layers. You have to go to deeper layers of yourself. Because on the superficial level, all the mind chatter comes. The mind says this, what about this, what about this? So you have to let it sink deeper. That's why we meditate. In that stillness, we go deeper and we discover this center that starts to unfold. Then you enter into the perfect I consciousness or self. So at the end of this process, you merge in the self, in the light, is in essence light and bliss. Light and bliss are the ultimate forms of the inner world, which are thought and feeling. The ultimate feeling state is bliss. The ultimate thought state is just sheer light. So light and bliss is the ultimate space, the inner world.